What if the hunger to be seen was the very noose slowly tightening around your neck? In the shadows of true power, visibility is not glory, it is the first wound. The crowd worships applause. They believe being loud means being safe. History laughs at them while sharpening the blade. To be constantly visible is to be constantly measured, and anything measured can be struck down with precision. Every time you parade your victories, you hand your enemies the map. The display itself sharpens their knives. Power that announces itself invites rivals, betrayal, and the slow poison of envy. Those who command in silence command the longest. The modern world lies to you. It says visibility is strength. It says the loudest man always wins. This is the great reversal. Showing off is not confidence, it is exposure. A fortress with its gates wide open is nothing but a trap waiting to be sprung. The truly dangerous man moves like smoke. He reveals little, speaks less, and strikes before anyone knows the battle has begun. Look at the Medici. They ruled from shadows while others danced in the spotlight. Caesar crossed the Rubicon in silence. The mind that plans unseen is the mind that conquers. In every era, the survivors mastered the art of strategic concealment. Today, the trap is more seductive than ever. Social media demands you broadcast every win, every luxury, every move. You post your wealth and invite thieves. You declare your plans and invite sabotage. Silence is not weakness, it is armor. The man who withholds becomes a puzzle, and puzzles inspire more fear than open books ever could. Imagine the general before battle, cloak drawn tight, eyes cold, no boasts, no leaks, only deep, unknowable water. His enemies see nothing, they prepare for ghosts. Uncertainty drains their courage faster than any sword. The modern leader who refuses to broadcast every thought keeps the ultimate weapon, the advantage of surprise. When you become predictable, your destruction is only a matter of timing. The concealed man forces others to guess and fear. He appears larger than his resources allow, more dangerous than they can calculate. In that shadow, he moves freely. In business, politics, and the silent war of influence, surprise overturns empires. Never trade it for cheap applause. The wise let others chase the spotlight. They know it burns hot and fast. Mistakes are magnified under its glare. They do not measure success by likes or cheers, but by the steadiness of their hidden position. Envy cannot strike what it cannot see. The most dangerous man in any room is rarely the loudest. He is the one whose move no one notices until it is already over. Ask yourself not how much you can show, but how much you can achieve unseen. The world rewards those who let others underestimate them. Rumors paint the silent man larger than life. He strikes without warning and vanishes without explanation. Power is not in being seen. Power is in choosing exactly when and if you will be seen. The urge to display grows from deep insecurity, the fear that without constant proof you will cease to exist. This fear chains you to the crowd's endless appetite. They cheer today and forget tomorrow. Perform or perish. Constant display exhausts you. It lowers your guard. It makes your moves predictable. The hunters are always watching. Familiarity kills mystique. The overexposed becomes ordinary. The rare and the unseen retain their terrifying value. Observe the lion. He does not roar at every shadow. He waits in silence, invisible, until the moment is perfect. Every appearance must be calculated. Every silence must deepen the tension. Teach the world nothing about your patterns. Power demands you chain your own impulses. Restraint forges empires. The dangerous ones release ambition only at the perfect time. They feed the world crumbs, so hunger for their presence only grows. When they finally speak, the room itself holds its breath. Constant visibility surrenders the battlefield before war begins. When everything is known, nothing is feared. Secrets are not mere absence of words. They are levers that move reality without resistance. They keep others paralyzed in guessing. Envy feeds on the visible. The man who constantly displays his success surrounds himself with smiling traitors. Wise rulers show enough to inspire trust, never enough to invite replacement. A crown shown too often invites grasping hands. In this age of forced exposure, withholding is rebellion. It turns you into a figure of whispered fear and speculation. The strong do not compete for attention. They make attention compete desperately for them. They step into light only to strike. Each return carries greater weight because absence built unbearable anticipation. In a world of performers, silence becomes the only act worth watching. The man who reveals everything becomes a map for his enemies. Without mystery, he cannot command true loyalty or fear. Loyalty born from constant visibility is shallow entertainment. Fear born from unpredictability roots deep and never releases. Constant showing off erodes your own discipline. You begin performing for approval instead of prevailing through strategy. Power grows in silence the way steel is tempered in fire, out of sight until the finished blade appears. In the dim corridors of real influence, the man who speaks least controls the most space. Each rare appearance deepens curiosity. Exposure feels like victory because it brings instant praise. But that praise is poison that clouds judgment and consumes strength. The crowd's hunger is endless. Feed it long enough and you will have nothing left to protect. Then they move to the next performer. Those who endure resist the spectacle. They appear only when it shifts the balance. They withdraw before others can feast on them. Their enemies fight ghosts, exhaust themselves on shadows, and waste precious time watching a man who reveals nothing. The concealed man weakens others without lifting a finger. His power grows from what he refuses to do as much as what he does. Restraint has become the rarest and most terrifying trait. Absence bends the air. Silence forces others to fill it with their own fears. He does not merely hide, he shapes the entire field around his absence. Imagination becomes his most powerful servant. Those who show everything surrender the unknown, the most valuable terrain in any war. A counted fortress is already half breached. The silent man creates danger for others. He lets overconfident rivals expose themselves while he waits in perfect darkness. In the meeting chamber, the talkative man arms his rival with every secret. The silent one leaves with total advantage and zero vulnerability. Mastery is knowing which fragments to release and when. A deliberate misdirection is often deadlier than total concealment. Victory is safest when it arrives quietly. Let the full scope be known only to those who must execute it. The concealed man dictates his own tempo. He is never dragged into useless conflicts or exhausting performances. Choose to become a force rather than a spectacle. A force shapes history. A spectacle burns brightly and disappears. He weaponizes patience. While others rush and reveal, he waits. Time strips their disguises and deepens his own. Every unnecessary display costs finite energy. The performer slowly bleeds out, trying to keep the audience satisfied. In the minds of rivals, the silent man becomes mythic. They project powers he does not yet possess. Fear does the rest. At the negotiation table, the talkers exhaust themselves and offer concessions to fill the terrifying silence. Withholding is worth more than giving. Every unspoken word gains value with time. Restraint is the hidden economy of power. Constant eyes mean constant scrutiny. The more you reveal, the easier it becomes to map and exploit your weaknesses. Even in alliances, total openness breeds future betrayal. Keep certain truths to yourself and remain the indispensable axis. The art is measured revelation. Appear too rarely and you fade. Appear too often and you expose. Precision is everything. History is clear. The loud burn fast and die young. The silent endure and shape generations. Control belongs to those who decide what is known. Showing off is surrender of sovereignty. You become ruled by the crowd's appetite and fear of their disapproval. Visibility is a double-edged blade. In careful hands, it projects strength. In careless hands, it cuts you open from within. Every appearance must serve a strategic purpose. If it does not advance the long game, it is wasted and dangerous movement. Storms are most feared before they break. Let your presence be gathering pressure. Let silence be the distant thunder. The truly dangerous man remains least explained. His moves are known only by their devastating aftermath. He walks through the same world as his rivals, but surrounded by invisible walls of discipline and selective revelation. This power cannot be bought or faked. It is forged through years of restraint and refusal of cheap validation. Invite underestimation. It is the most efficient camouflage. Let them lower their guard while you prepare the final strike. He becomes the mirror others cannot read. They see only what they want to see, until it destroys them. Every relationship, every word, every appearance is filtered through one question. Does this serve the architecture of my control? Your life becomes a fortress with no obvious gates, a labyrinth only you can navigate. This is true freedom. You must choose firework or fortress. The firework dazzles for a moment. The fortress stands for centuries. The world will always tempt you to prove yourself in public. Resist. Master concealment. Let silence speak louder than their screams. Those who choose the hidden path do not chase fame. They seize the power to decide when they appear and when they remain shadows. In that choice lies the highest freedom, to move as an unseen force that quietly shapes the visible world. If you have listened this far, something inside you already recognizes this truth. You feel the pull toward real power. True strength begins the moment you stop performing for others, even if it means walking alone for a time. Are you ready to be misunderstood, feared, even hated, so you can finally belong to yourself? The price of authenticity is high, but the alternative is a slow death inside a cage built of other people's opinions. Write in the comments if this cut deep. I choose my peace. Let us see how many souls are truly ready to step into the shadows. The path of concealment is lonely at first, but it is the only path that leads to genuine, unbreakable power. You were never meant to be another performer in their circus. You were meant to be the unseen architect behind the stage. Every time you feel the urge to show off, remember this: the knife is already being sharpened by someone watching. Protect your mystery. Guard your process. Strike only when the moment is undeniably yours. In silence, you will find clarity. In restraint, you will find strength. In concealment, you will find dominion. The world belongs to those who understand that being unseen is the ultimate form of control. You now carry this knowledge. Use it wisely. The shadows are waiting for those strong enough to embrace them. Never forget, power is not loud. Power is inevitable, and the inevitable never needs to announce itself. Move like the storm that gathers unseen. When you finally break, they will have no time to run. This is the way of the truly powerful. Not kindness, not cruelty. Simply cold, calculated mastery. Thank you for walking this dark path with me. The next step is yours. Choose wisely. Choose power. Keep watching. The real work happens in silence. I will see you in the shadows.